It is being called one of the biggest auto theft related cases in the history of San Diego.
More than a dozen people were arrested for allegedly defrauding banks and other financial institutions out of millions of dollars by illegally buying dozens of vehicles. News 8's Steve Fiorina shows us the undercover operation that led to the big bust.
Major bust of a very complex scheme, crossing 3 counties, San Bernardino, Riverside, and based here in San Diego. Drone video shot by the Regional Auto Theft Task Force during Operation Blindside, an 18-month undercover operation that netted 21 suspects and more than 100 vehicles, high-performance sports cars, luxury SUVs, wave runners, and motorhomes. A complicated plan in play.
The detail, I mean, we used to just see people go steal a car and then, they would go out there and actually break in the window and steal a car and they're off, possibly transporting it across the border, selling it, whatever the case is. Now, this is very detailed.
The DA called it a $5 million virtual auto theft ring, utilizing false lease agreements, straw buyers, and fake websites.
This criminal enterprise involved a network of individuals and dozens of shell companies that allowed the ringleader to pull the strings and carry out the scam for more than a year.
21 indictments, including the alleged mastermind and ringleader Brian Orr, who's operated out of Claremont and Mission Valley under the banner Patriot Financial.
Orr presented himself and lived his life as a wealthy CEO, but in fact, he was nothing but an unemployed con man. 2
assault rifles were also confiscated in the raids. 15 suspects are in custody, 6 still at large. Steve Fiorina, News 8.